asking if I want to do an intro. That is weird. It started at 17 seconds and we just clicked it.
Mine's at 8 seconds right now.
Oh, okay, good. It's a little faster, right?
Yeah.
Weird. That doesn't make sense like mathematically, but anyway, I just clicked it now. Okay, I'm gonna go live on the TikTok too, and if you want to join there, I'll try to make sure that oh, somebody joined already. I'll try to make sure that it doesn't echo, and then you can. I'm gonna invite people. So if you, oh, I see you. Yeah, yeah. Okay, you're online. That's a cool picture, by the way.
Wait, which one? I'm on my other account right now.
Oh, is it? Okay, so maybe I don't have you. Okay, I see you. I'm gonna follow you. Add guest. So I have to follow you first. Is it? Oh, there you are. Okay, cool, cool,
Wait, can
cool.
you see me?
I see like the IS logo, but I don't see your. I don't actually see you. Maybe it.
Wait, it says live access needed to go live on a video. As a guest, you can go live on audio. What does that even mean?
Hmm. That's strange. I think maybe you don't have enough history on TikTok, or maybe you have
Wait,
to enable.
let me try my other account because last time I could go in fine on my other account.
Okay, sure, no problem. Your friends are on the other account.
Yeah.
That's cool. TikTok doesn't really have a good messenger, right? Like it's super like basic. You can't send pictures, right? It's like super. Oh wow, you're able to just
Why is
join.
it audio only? I'm so confused.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
okay,
see
there we go.
the rules are inconsistent.
There
Oh,
we
there.
go.
Cool, cool. What's up? What's up, Michaela? All right. So hopefully we get more views because last time we got a lot of people watching. Maybe because it's promoting, they don't promote our live. Who knows? But anyway, we'll just get into it, right? All right. So I'll just introduce myself. So yep, my name's Chris James, and I'm a social media expert with over 125 followers across YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn, and Instagram. CEO of iSocialize, and basically, we are a startup that has a social media platform where you could monetize. So it allows you to. I'm gonna start pushing the hearts, get us more likes, and basically allows you to monetize and sell without the requirement of getting like YouTube has what you have to get like 1,000 followers plus 4,000 watch hours, right? That's usually the requirement on YouTube. And then you get paid per views, or like when people watch the video, they see an ad, and based on that category, you'll get the ad revenue. They share the ad revenue, right? Similar to TikTok. And let me just go into it. So um, I'll just introduce Michaela, right? You're an influencer and undergrad in marketing. And what's your opinion about iSocialize so far?
Um, I think iSocialize is like ahead of its time, and it's a really good place for people to post
Hmm.
content or list items that they have that they want to sell or um like want people to buy or see. I think it's a really good place for that. And also like posting blogs. I feel like not many like platforms have places where you can post blogs. So I feel like that's really cool.
Right, right, right. So how much like did you make so I mean, how much could you make in a week? Like if you really posted on iSocialize and you really created like a lot of content and basically worked really hard to promote your content or brand or products in the platform.
You could easily make $100 a week by
Yeah.
just being in iSocialize and listing, commenting, and posting whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally agree. Like especially inviting people, like you can get paid up to $2 an invite. when they join, and so we're planning to actually up it to 5 in the next few weeks. So like when you invite people, like a lot of people complain, oh, my friends are not on there, or those kind of things. So you could easily invite your friends, and then you have a new way to promote your content. There's thousands of people on there, so you could easily connect with your friends on there. There's a messenger, there's groups and all kinds of things, so you could definitely grow on the platform. And this week we had a lot of people joining from the US and the UK. So like over 60% of people are posting English content, but it is a global app. So we launched in the US initially, and we also launched in Asia, Japan, and we also started with like Kickstarter. So at that time, a lot of people were looking for like a free speech platform, and it was so funny. And so we did a Kickstarter round, and a lot of people joined. That's how we got our first 15,000 users, and it's just been growing from there. So we're also on the App Store. Um, so again, like the vision of iSocialize is to make it easy to monetize. We share our revenue with users so that they could monetize immediately. So you could monetize from day one. So as soon as you post, you get points that convert to rewards in cash, and then you have a e-wallet where you could immediately um, transfer the money into your PayPal. You can request a payout. So it's very like face value. There's no like threshold where you have to get like 1,000 followers or 1,000 watch hours or those kind of things. And so it's very easy to monetize. The algorithm is very chronological. So when you post, content is not like hidden because you only have like 2 followers. Everybody will see it at that time. So it's similar to like Poshmark, right? So
Mhm.
Poshmark, if you go on Poshmark, you'll see people posting tons of things for sale. And if you're logged in at that time, you'll see at the very top what people recently posted. And so some items, they get like 3 hearts or 1 heart. But people are like posting, there's like 1,000 posts per like hour. So um, if you're actively posting, you'll get like a lot of views. And you could also reshare what you posted last week and get more views on the content. Um, so monetization from day one. And so how do you make money? Basically, you can post, invite people, comment, you get activity points. So your activity equals money. And so you get paid for your time on social media. Um, and it's easy to use. Obviously, you could download the app on Android or iOS, and there's also a website. So if you want to invite people, you can just go to invite, like in the dashboard, or you just go to iSocialize /invite, and then you get like a unique, URL. So the URL, when you share it and people sign up, you'll basically get paid when they sign up. And you could like convert it into a QR code. So like if you want to create cards and invite people, it's like super affiliate based. So it's really you know friendly for affiliate marketing as well. You could post it on other social media platforms. That, hey, I joined iSocialize. Here's my QR code. People can scan it, then they could sign up. How to create a QR code? So you could use Canva, or there's a bunch of free sites. So once you get your link from the iSocialize /invite, you just copy that and you could share it on your timeline on other platforms, or just create a QR code and upload it on your IG or any other platform that you're using, and then people could just follow you and join the platform. So in this live, we're also going to be talking about like how to monetize on basically a lot of platforms. Uh-oh. Are you still there?
Wait, why did the live end?
I don't know, but we'll just leave it at that. What was it? Okay.
Wait,
I,
what
I also
happened?
I got like a phone call and maybe it turned it off. Sorry. Did you
Oh,
hear my phone ringing?
yeah, but I didn't know what that was.
Yeah. And then they also flagged it, so it's okay. But we'll just continue here. That's social media, right? That's moderation. Um, so yeah. Anyway, we'll create some more content. So basically, going further into the live, so we'll talk about experience with TikTok, which is very appropriate right now. So, what's your opinion about the good and bad about TikTok? Like, so far when you post something, like, how do you feel about using TikTok, basically?
I feel like TikTok can be good sometimes for promoting like small businesses and things that you want to promote, but the chance that like what you're trying to promote actually becomes promoted is very slim. And also, what just
Mhm.
happened with the live, obviously, it's
Mhm.
not really all that free speech if we
Yeah,
can't focus on a live without being flagged every single
exactly.
time.
Yeah, TikTok is a pretty interesting and good platform. It's gotten a lot of users to join due to the fact that you could basically get a minimum or maximum of 200 to 300 views per video. And a lot of content creators call it the 200 view jail because a lot of creators cannot get past the 200, but it's still a lot better than Instagram because generally with Instagram, if you have a new account, you don't have a lot of followers, you're gonna get probably 5 to 50 views if it's very new, unless
Right.
you're using like trending audio. But like the main science behind social media and the algorithm is that only 1 to 10% of your followers, your friends will actually see your content. So even if they're interested and they follow you, unless they're like super active and liking and commenting, they might not be able to see your content even if you post it like daily. So they do have that algorithm. Um, I've noticed that, especially even on LinkedIn. But yeah, they do. So TikTok does have some hyper moderation. Like even though we did disclose that it was a promotion video, sometimes they'll take down your live. They might have some sort of AI in there that's like listening, and you know it's not like that's what happens when you don't have real human moderators to make like intelligent decisions. So people are always in most platforms, people are fighting an algorithm um, just to get views, and some people get sales. Like I've seen some creators on TikTok where they're selling an ebook or some kind of system of how to make money online, and then they have like a link, a stand store, and then they get people to buy. But I've even seen their videos get taken down as well. So people are always fighting the system or the algorithm or whatever, and they have to appeal it. Like I had to appeal last week, and then I got my live back. So TikTok, they really tell people to promote your video. So it's like pay to play, right? So you gotta pay. So it's not super organic. So our platform is super organic. So like if you post something, people who are interested will see it, and
Mhm.
you know, um, and then we'll go like basically into Instagram. But basically again on TikTok, if you follow trends, obviously trends are very effective. And if you collaborate with other creators, you have a very good chance of growing your channel. With Instagram, how's your experience like as far as like because you started a new account, right?
Mhm.
You started an I Socialize account, like and your content is actually very good. Um, you're following trends, you're using music, you're cutting, you're editing, and based on that, how is your like experience with sort of getting views and even on your regular Instagram, like
I feel like effort on Instagram does not equal exposure.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the best way I can put it. Like it's so hard to gain an audience on Instagram
Mm-hmm.
and like even putting specific hashtags or like things that people click on,
Mm-hmm.
it's still not, it's like it's just so slow to
Yeah.
gain.
Yeah, most people tell us that like I socialize. We're also a technology company, so we do help with digital marketing, and we've had clients who need to grow their channel, get more followers, and get more customers. So a lot of people, trust Meta, and they think it's the best way to advertise, or they just want to grow their presence using Meta because a lot of people are on Instagram. So they have the same problem, and we help them, but it's really pay to play. So that means that they either have to buy ads, they have to buy followers, or they have to collaborate with other brands in the industry. And if it's not like super niche, like let's say they're, I don't know, a very common business like a attorney or something, then it gets more competitive. So if you use trending audios on Instagram and you make skits and you do something very creative, it's generally, most of these platforms are now entertainment platforms. So they evolved from traditional social media, which is like to meet people and connect, to more of like a YouTube platform where it's like I'm just gonna watch videos and be entertained. So if you make your content super entertaining, um, a lot of businesses are conservative. Like if they're an IT company, they don't want to create a skit that's like funny or but sometimes they do, and then it helps them grow. So you have to be super like creative and to grow on Instagram and use trending audio, if you don't want to pay for ads. But generally, paying for ads is gonna help. However, we've seen like people who pay for ads, they get a lot of bots. They get like fake DMs and
Hmm.
all these like people trying to pretend that they're Instagram but they're not, and it's so we start to wonder, is Meta ads really genuinely real traffic, and a lot of them can get sales but not as much as they, so like ROI, right? Return of investment. So if they paid $100, they might not make it back. And it's not necessarily that they don't have a good product or service, it's the quality of the traffic that they deliver is not always it's not really giving them customers basically. So I've seen like where we run campaigns on Meta, and we'll get people like we choose a geographic location because they have the Meta business, and you could get it down to the zip code. But we've seen even in that scenario, like let's say we target New York, and then we get traffic from like Iraq, or so it's really strange. um you start to really wonder where, so it's very sketchy, right?
Hmm.
Surprisingly, for such a big corporate, such a really trusted big name, you don't get the quality of, and these are real case studies. Like it's all documented, but so then the customers will, like, we've generally, the most successful thing that we've done for customers, getting them on the first page of Google. Like recently, we had a customer in Singapore who is a psychologist, and then they hired us to make a website, and we got their website on the first page of Google. So SEO is way more promising than running Meta ads, because then they could, a customer can search their location and the type of service, and then they could find it in their area. But Meta ads are very questionable, and it takes a little time. It's much easier than Google ads, but it's like the quality of traffic is very questionable, because you might, even though you choose Singapore, you might get people, like we've seen traffic from other countries, and it's just
Right.
very sketchy. But yeah, so if you want to grow on IG, definitely the trending audios and trending kind of topics. Like you could look at other people, other businesses and creators in that specific category and see how they're doing it. There's a bunch of websites out there that show the type of videos that they're making for that product. Even Shopify sellers who are using, because Shopify sellers, it's almost like a formula. They create the store, they create the put the product in there, and then they use meta ads. And a lot of times they're using Facebook, but Facebook will like put the ads on WhatsApp. They'll put it on IG. They'll put it in the story, and they'll put it on the Facebook's website too. So they have that template, and then these marketing companies, they have a portal where you could see the exact same product that other people are selling and what videos and content they're using, so you could sort of create a similar product video. I think one of them is called drop.io or something like that. It's like dropship.io, and they tell you what product is trending. They also tell you the type of videos and content, and some of it's downloadable, and then you could just sort of edit it. But
Wait, what
that,
is that?
I think, let me just double check. I think it's called dropship.io. And yeah, they have, it's dropshiptool.io, or dropship.io. Yeah, that's the one. And it says like discover winning products to sell. So
Hmm.
they give you a free trial, and they have a library of the products that are trending, how much sales and people are spending on it. And it also shows the library of content that people are creating around that product, so you could see if it's active and if it's profitable. But the biggest problem again is a lot of drop shippers, especially in the early like 2022 23, they had like their meta ad account suspended, and some of them were even spending like $50,000 a month, $100,000 a month. Because like basically it's called finding the winning product. So, and it even says it on dropship.io, but basically on dropship.io, you're gonna try to find a product that is profitable. So let's say you have to buy the product for $10 and sell it for 50, and then your ad revenue that you spend to advertise it would be around $20. So if you can make a profit in that range, so the really difficult part is sometimes you have to spend $500 to $1,000 just to see if it's profitable. Because let's say you just spend $50, you might not get a sale, but then you spend another $50, you might get two sales. So that's the magic formula. And then a lot of people lose money that way too, because the product is already, like, the trend is gone. Like there was like a trend, like there's so many trending products that you can't really get on Amazon yet. Like they had a lighter that was like a torch lighter that was really popular, right? It was like a super blue flame, or
Mm-hmm.
like toothpaste dispenser, or these kind of like very unique products that trend. And so that's like the magic formula, is finding that product and making sure that the ad revenue that you spend is profitable when you get the final sale. And then having the best Shopify store, so people use templates. And the problem with using templates is that it's not going to always do well on Google. So it might, but it might not, because so many people are using the same design that Google will see the site as a copycat site. So then it might not get a good position. So basically, it takes, like they say, it takes money to make money, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then again, people are losing money. So that's why we promote iSocialize, because thousands of people in there, and you don't have to spend a lot of money on ads. I mean, you could promote a product, but because the algorithm is in chronological order, like Poshmark, because Poshmark doesn't really have ads yet, then people will see it in order when you post it. So as far as your experience with YouTube, have you ever posted a video on there, or how's your initial experience with it?
I mean, I had to post on YouTube for like classes in my university,
Hmm.
but like even so, there's still no one viewed it. Like there's still
Wow.
like 2 views. Like
Like zero? Two?
no, like 2 views. I think like me and the professor.
Right.
But
So,
that's still like it's public for everyone. Like anyone could look at it,
mhm.
and it's like
Wow.
yeah,
And it's probably like really high quality, like educational content, right?
right.
And maybe you did a speech or so that's the thing about YouTube is like I don't know their complete algorithm because it changes very randomly, but with YouTube, it's a great platform for watching and you sometimes log in and you see the same videos from yesterday, which is kind of like I socialize in some ways, but um as far as being a content creator, because like I'm coming from the background of obviously having 25,000 subscribers and things like that, and
Mhm.
I collaborate with other YouTubers that have 50K, 100K, you know, Twitch and kick streamers, and so basically it takes money to make money. So when I spoke to them and how they initially monetized, they had to put hundreds, if not thousands, of dollars into like ads, so you could get ads on YouTube, and then eventually, once you sort of get enough followers, and then they have all these apps out there to boost your YouTube, but it takes a lot of work and money to really get in there. An initial growth hack though is YouTube has shorts now, and so every social media platform is competing now for the short form content. So it's almost like TikTok. If you create like a long video and you create an intro short video that's like 30 to 60 seconds, and you tell people, hey, watch the long video here on my channel, it's definitely a big growth hack. So you could potentially get more views on the long video, kind of creating a hook video, a short video. So the short videos, it's kind of the same thing. You don't have to use trending audio, but they do have a really massive audio library on YouTube
Mhm.
with short. So that's another growth hack is if you kind of focus on the short videos. Usually the channels that do well are focused on a specific niche. So some people say, hyper focus on a specific niche. Like some people have a YouTube channel specifically for like yoga music, or like, and the whole channel is just music.
Mhm.
That's like super focused, but it's very competitive. But like the first people who were to create that, they were very successful. Right now, one of the biggest trends on YouTube is nuisance streamer content. Not necessarily creating it, but covering it as like a news channel. So like they'll talk about like recent events on influencers, or like they'll watch a kick stream and then they'll re-upload the screen recording of it and like edit it and talk about their opinion, and it's really like almost hate speech, but they're just talking really bad about the streamer, and they shouldn't be doing this or they shouldn't be doing that. So that's one of the fastest growing trends right now on YouTube. Also like body cam videos, those channels are really getting a lot of views.
And I feel like podcasts.
Yeah, podcasts are good too. Especially on like marketing and things like that. Um, like, but generally, like, if you kind of follow Joe Rogan,
Mhm.
like if you kind of follow that, and it's just so funny because he talks a lot about paranormal things, but he also talks about like trending topics. And sometimes politics, which is really weird. But did you hear about the Liver King?
No.
So the Liver King is this guy who claimed to be super holistic, and he's like, you got to eat raw meat and it'll help you. And Like and he was like super muscular, but then they found out like he was on steroids or something. And
Mm.
so he had like a massive crash out, and then he threatened Joe Rogan because he's like wanted to threaten people to like box them or some kind of like thing. And so he got in trouble for doing that. And I don't see how or why he got in trouble, because a lot of people, even like, what is it called? Like Logan Paul, or they always like they did the Mike Tyson fight. Like I don't see why it's, but I guess he was a little bit more persistent, and he went to like Joe Rogan's house, not his house, but his area, and he's like, "Come meet me here" or something. So that was a big topic like 2 weeks ago. But like the kind of Joe Rogan podcast, like those kind of podcasts are really, super, like that format, but it seems you have to have a really good setup. I mean, sometimes people do podcasts like we're doing now, like just Zoom. Um, so you don't have to have a lot of technology, but there's another application called like Riverside FM, and it like has AI where it boosts the audio quality, and it does editing, and you could like record on there and then upload it. So it's also software as well. Like because of like all this software, you could basically create a really high quality podcast with just your computer, webcam, and mic. But a lot of people are using a condenser mic so that the audio is really focused. But yeah, I guess you have to really invite find really special storylines and people. Sometimes they're a part of some really big event, but they are not really known to the public yet, or they're not super famous, but they were a part of something. Like I saw this one podcast of like he was like an underground rapper, and he basically got signed by another rapper, and then nobody knew about him, but the podcast did really well. So he talked about his experience of being in Hollywood, and also crashing out. Is a good storyline. But those kind of things are interesting to people, of like how I think it was like he was working with like Chris Brown or something like that. But like people, like he talked about like how they were in real life, and it was very interesting to see behind the cameras how these people live. And he talks about their mansion and how he was invited to go there, and how the security guard and the gate opened, and how the guy was like super nice and down to earth. And so it was very interesting to learn that. And then so yeah, that's YouTube. Like if you want to grow on YouTube, having the short hook videos, that's a big massive hack. If you don't have like a lot of money, but I mean to spend on ads. But I think they always say content is king. And it's sort of the algorithms now, the content has to be consistent, which is unfortunate for variety content creators, because it's almost like you have to create a separate channel for each interest. But it wasn't like that like in the beginning of YouTube. Like I used to have a channel where I do drone videos, and I would do like product review videos, and it did really well together. But now it's like you either have a drone video channel or you have a product review channel, boxing channel, So that was unfortunate. So that's the algorithm now. Well, specifically to YouTube, and even Instagram. I guess people want to see the same kind of video over and over. When they see your channel, they're like, okay, this is the guy who talks about this, and this is the guy who talks about that. You know what I mean? So they kind of see you. It's like you're building a brand, but you're building like it's still in a niche. So unfortunately, I mean, I'm a variety person. So I mean, I get bored with one topic. If I'm just unboxing iPhones, have you heard of Jerry Rig?
No.
I mean, he's super huge. So he looks like Joe Rogan, exactly like Joe Rogan. No hair, and a shiny head, bald. But what he does is every time a new like Apple product comes out, he like does a destruction test on it. So he'll like, okay, the first thing he does is he'll take a razor and he'll see, can the screen hold up? And then he'll do a drop test. and then he'll like disassemble it, and he'll talk about like the battery or what's the main difference. So I mean, that's going to be really interesting because supposedly a flip iPhone will come out. So it's going to be like, but like basically, because people want to know how to fix their iPhone without going to Apple. And so every year it becomes harder and harder to DIY, do it yourself, fix things. So it's like even the battery has like a chip in it, whereas like if you used a third party battery, the phone wouldn't work. So it's becoming like so proprietary with like, so he covers all that kind of stuff. Very interesting. But people like to see like a guy who's unboxing a $2,000 brand new iPhone and destroy it. I don't know why, but because like they're like, what could possibly be the worst scenario if I drop this? Or so he'll do a drop test from a certain amount of feet, and basically see how much wear and tear this device can handle. So it's not just like iPhones. Like I think he did like computers and all sorts of different things, but specifically he focuses on Apple. And then some of these content creators, they actually do get picked up by Apple. And like there's one guy who always goes to the Apple event in California, and like Apple Park or whatever. And then when Tim Cook shows like it's like usually in September, they show the new iPhone. He's like always there right next to Tim Cook. So I guess he got a really good deal on that, just by unboxing videos. So iSocialize, again, it's like an all-in-one platform where you could both sell and monetize, both locally and online when you're listing products. So it has like the Facebook Market component, but all like with a map. Like actually, we use Google Maps, so it's a lot more. You could see the items with a pin drop on there and stuff like that. But talking about like Amazon or Etsy or other platforms, like, do you have any friends, or do you have any experience selling online?
No, but my friend sells on Depop.
Depop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Depop is pretty good. Like it's very new. It's just amazing how these platforms just basically come out of nowhere and they're so successful.
Mm-hmm.
But like for example, I'm always going back to Poshmark, but believe it or not, Poshmark has been around since 2012, and it was so basic. Like it was just like people selling clothes, and it was like e-commerce. So when they got their investment, I think the initial investment, they've already raised 500 million, but before that, like they got their first, 100 million. They really rebuilt the platform as, became very popular after that. I'm not sure. Is a lot of people still using Poshmark now?
The only person who I know uses Poshmark is Trisha Paytas, and she's like a YouTuber, so I don't know.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, sometimes they get they just want to promote their products on there, or they just, some people really love the platform, and that works. But like it's just amazing that like I never heard of Poshmark in 2012, but it just like once they get that big investment, it just pops
Mhm.
off. And they have like their brand ambassadors. So in there, if you see the top sellers, they have like a title on their profile, and they're like the main, like top sellers in there, and they're posting like every hour. It's so many products, and usually it's used clothing, right?
Mhm.
Um, but Depop, they have both new and used things, right? But mainly trending products, I think. And but like Amazon, yeah, Amazon is super competitive. I used to have an Amazon store, and it did okay. But they kind of take 15% or sometimes 20%. So I was, even if you sold like 20 to 100 items in a day, like you really start to see like once you get that payout, you're like, wow,
Mhm.
I need to hire my price. I need to make my price higher. But then if you make your price higher, then they take more. But So on iSocialize, we take 10%, but we're thinking of lowering it. PayPal takes, you know about PayPal, right? It takes like 1% or is it 2%?
It's a lot of percent. I don't even know.
Oh man. So we should probably lower our commission rate on iSocialize, but it's a lot lower than Amazon for sure. But so we had a recent Amazon project where we integrated a website. It's like a WordPress one with Amazon, and the guy was spending like two to $3,000 a month just on ads just to get sales, and I was like, wow. I was like, and then his sales were like 7,000 or 8,000, but the products were like MSRP, so I don't think the profit was probably not that great. So it's like, again, it takes money to make money. So because Amazon is so competitive, they have like a really high, like your buyer reviews, they need to be like, your seller rating should be at least 95%. Otherwise, they're gonna start sending you like these warning emails. And sometimes when you ship something, 1% of people are just not good customers. Period. I mean, not in a not that they're not good people, but they just or maybe their local mailing service, the package gets damaged or lost, or and then that could just really hurt your, even 1% looks bad, right? So most people, what they do, so it's so competitive that you have to buy ads unless you have a super unique or you have your own product. And then somebody will try to copy your product. But basically, the people who are making a lot of money on Amazon, they do FBA, or they have a high volume of sales. What they do is they ship their product to the Amazon warehouse, and then Amazon will distribute it for you. So that's how they do the Amazon Prime. So if you're an Amazon Prime seller, then your products are usually in their warehouse, and then they do the logistics. So Amazon evolved more into a logistics company, instead of being e-commerce platform. So that's why it's super competitive now, especially if you're selling the same products as everybody else. Unless you create your own brand, like people can contact a company in China, they make their own electronic product and they put their own brand on it, and they can have it shipped and delivered. And usually if you're the first person in that market, like it's a special electronic, like for example, when the mobile battery pack came out, like those people did really well. But there's always like new gadgets that people are inventing, but then it just becomes more competitive, especially if there's a high demand for that product. So Amazon's good in a lot of ways, but sometimes if you're selling a product that's competitive, you basically have to pay for ads initially, and it's like Shopify. You might not get ROI, so then you have to like keep finding new products. And people join these Amazon like FBA, fulfillment business associate, or whatever it stands for, organization, so that they pay for it monthly, so they can get new ideas and be relevant, because e-commerce is so competitive now. Like it's and the majority of people are using Amazon to buy things. So even eBay, right? Like it's not, maybe for collector things, but it's not relevant as much as it used to be like 10 years ago. You know what I mean? And it's so funny because eBay put out this new feature called Live Seller. So they have like a video now. You could go live and you could sell like your Pokemon cards or things like that. So they're really trying to get into social commerce. But yeah, social commerce is such a big industry now. Yeah. So what about Craigslist? Like, do you or your friends or family use Craigslist?
I don't really use it to like buy. I've looked at it before. I
Mm-hmm.
haven't like posted anything on it.
Oh, I see. What about like Facebook Marketplace? Have you used it, or do you use it?
Um, No, I haven't used it, but I've also looked at that. My friends have bought stuff off of Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, it's like the new Craigslist now. It's like popular, and
Yeah.
that but we're trying to go in because I mean, obviously, we have another platform called Local Deals. It's pretty popular, but a lot of people are posting like services more than they are posting products. So we have people posting like cleaning services or like dentist or like just like we see in Las Vegas. I don't know why, but Las Vegas is getting a lot of posts for services and things like that. But that's another thing about iSocialize. You can also post services, unlike Facebook Marketplace, where you can only post like products that are local, and they don't have like a thing where you could sell like you had a payment online and ship it. So ours is like all in one. Really, it's like I mean, we could improve it more, but it's basically all in one. But Craigslist, so I've sometimes use it, and it's good for posting services, but items or certain categories that are very competitive, like I've had ads taken down all the time, and because they don't really have real moderators. Like if somebody flags your post just because they're doing the same thing, which is very common, people understand that now. They basically that's how they reduce like man cost, or like cost of labor. Then the listing will go down, and you basically lose the opportunity to get customers. So that's what we've seen with Craigslist. And then also the platform itself, like Craigslist looks very outdated, right? Like it's super like 90s, right? It's like
Right.
super vibe. Like I mean, it looks like a website from 20 years ago, kind of.
Right.
I mean, it was a great platform. Like 80% of my customers were from there back, like this is 15 years ago, but so I had good memories, but now it's like super moderated. And they took down a lot of categories. They used to have so many categories, but certain categories they do charge like $5 or $10 to list in. Like if it's a house or a car, or if you're not in that state, they want to charge for the listing. So it is still kind of pay to play. But I've even paid for listings and they got taken down. So
Really?
yeah, I was like, what, am I gonna get the $10 back, or So I was like, kind of. It was like a job listing we put. It was for like influencers. Like we same thing on LinkedIn. We put it on LinkedIn, didn't get taken down. We put it on Craigslist, it got taken down. So I was like, kind of strange. Um, just like the TikTok video live we just did. um, like there's some weird videos on TikTok, right? Like I don't know, murder videos, or and they're okay, but we just talk about a app and they I don't know. Maybe because we're competitors. I don't know. Maybe that's the reason, right? Anyway, what was it? So yeah, basically over moderation on all platforms. I mean, that's a big problem. And then the reason is they don't have real people reviewing things. They just have like AIs, or if somebody just flags a video just because they want to, I don't know what's their like psychology, but then the thing gets taken down and you have to appeal it, and then they review it, say, oh, you're fine. But then how do you prevent that from happening in the future? So it's like you got to email them and you have to write really good notes, and then maybe they'll put like a threshold on how many people flag it, and then maybe the video won't be flagged again. Who knows? um but even like we were talking about Neptune, right? Like they sometimes get their videos taken down as well, so that's why they made their platform. So moderation is not always logical. um so that's a big problem. But anyway, so like growing across platforms is basically following trends, creating a niche channel that is branded, and collaborating with people, using shorts, because people are more like attention span has really decreased. So creating a short video is, most social media platforms found that they get more users engaging that way. and also lives. You know, I mean, even the last live we did, even though it was like 10 minutes, we got like almost 100 people that we got
Right.
exposed to, right? Like in a short amount of time. Like if you posted a video, it probably wouldn't get 100 views in 10 minutes. So if you go live, some platforms are better for live, you know? Um, and of course, collaborating. So if you could DM people in the same, you know, channel category, and, you know, they want to do a video either in person or just, you know, you could tag them in there. Um, it definitely gets exposure to their viewers and also yours. So it's kind of mutual. I mean, it's like beneficial to both people. Um, and then also SEO, right? So even though your videos are in a platform, you could submit the link to your video to like search engines. And when somebody types that out, like, and they're searching for it, like sometimes your TikTok or YouTube video will pop up on Google. And so I've seen like when we've done that, like videos pop up on the first page. So a lot of people don't go past the first page of Google. So that's also very useful. I mean, it could work for any video. It could be a YouTube video, which Google favors more, or it could be TikTok or Instagram or whatever, you know, video platform you're using. Even I socialize. So those kind of, you know, like branding your channel. Like if you create a name that really registers with your content, um, then it also will perform better in the search engine, like in the SEO. But you know, like some people just have a really basic name, and it also, if their content's really good, it creates a brand around that. Um, so I don't know. I was on the App Store yesterday, and I saw there was another social platform that popped up. It was, they're using the something like Spot Tick or something, and they're trying to like copy TikTok. And I thought that was really funny because under TikTok, their app came up. So it's like sometimes using those similar keywords is like gonna get you. And they actually had 50,000 reviews on the App Store. So there is probably at least a million people that signed up for it, you know. So it's like kind of another thing. I thought about doing that too, but I'm not really like a copycat, you know. So I mean, I don't want to just like make like Chris talk or something like that, you know. I mean, that would be that would be really funny,
That
but
would
it's.
be funny.
I mean, I thought about it. I thought of like if we rebranded to Toctic, like it's like reversed. I mean, that would do well, right? But then
That's
it's
funny.
so stupid. I mean, right?
No,
But
that's funny.
because like if TikTok got banned and then we did Toctic, like people would be like, "Oh, it's a new TikTok." It's like subconscious like psychology, you know. It's like kind of. But then I was like, I mean, there's not probably not a risk because it's like it wouldn't be trademarked technically because it's reversed, even if we spelt it differently. But it's like, why would I do that? You know, like we're trying to make something better, you know. So that's it. Like, did you want to add anything?
Download I Socialize.
Yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. If you learned something and liked the video, be sure to share and comment. I've seen a lot of people share some of my recent short videos, so thank you. And see you guys hopefully on iSocialize. So thanks for watching.
Bye.